Capricorn, how it is that y'all are doing. So if you'd like to get a private tarot reading from me, the link is in the description box below, as well as the comment section below. Linktree, link/Kareemspiritworks. Come and get a personal reading from me, or you can contact me at Kareemspiritworks@yahoo.com, right? So I can most definitely keep the show going. Just want to say thank you for the 10,000 subs, and as much as I appreciate it, I can't enjoy it. It's work. So we're going to continue to work. Anyway, for you Capricorns, you have the Four of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Three of Pentacles. A lot of you Capricorns wanted someone that was on your level, someone that essentially you can see eye to eye with, and you Capricorns may actually be getting your wish. The High Priestess, this is something that you kept to yourself, that you wanted to get with someone, but you wanted to be with someone that you can see is a good match for you, right? The Four of Cups and the Justice represents you just want to make sure that this person actually has some sort of good thoughts about you, and they're not trying to just get into it with you just to get your body or your cash, or depending on what side you're on, who you are. You don't want to get used. Capricorn is the zodiac sign of use, right? That's the energy I use, right? Every zodiac sign has one, but with Capricorn, it's I use. Virgo is I analyze. Taurus is I have, right? So you don't want to get used. And the Four of Cups represents you just need to make sure that it is a reciprocal relationship. The Justice now represents you may be new at it because things may not have worked out for you in the past, and you're trying to date. You may be trying to get to know them, but you don't necessarily know where it is that you should begin. And to be honest, begin at hello. You know what I mean? Begin at hi. Tell them your name. Say what's going on. If you're hanging out with them, then get to know them. Ask them what they are about. Really, ask them their zodiac sign, right? Make a wise joke about how it is that you know a little bit about their zodiac sign. I mean, if you watch enough of my videos, you'll pick up certain gems on how to understand each zodiac sign, right? Especially if you're watching them. So whatever zodiac sign they are, go back and watch the How to Understand series. That should tell you, and I have even more information since then, but the point I'm trying to make is that should tell you enough to be able to where you can have some form of understanding about them, right? So that you know a little bit about them before you even actually ask them about their specific, unique traits that they only have. So it really is just that simple. As far as if they are interested in you or not, only really time can tell. Only time can tell. Because a person can say whatever it is that they want to. They could tell you sky is green. They could tell you, there was a comet rainfall that was happening last night in their backyard. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. How do you know if it's true? Time, ultimately. The Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords is about, the Knight of Pentacles is, it represents wanting to date better than the people, the scumbags that you were accustomed to dating, and we all dated them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna be sitting up here acting like we've never dated some dysfunctional people. I've dated dysfunctional plenty, but it's about trying to date better, higher quality people. And I'm not necessarily talking about in the sick way that a lot of people are doing it today. I'm talking about lowballing yourselves, trying to date somebody that your perception at the time you think is a good match because they from the hood, they're homegrown, so you don't want to feel like you don't want to get with someone who's stuck up and bougie, to then dating, to now understanding that people on the other side, there's bougie people everywhere it is that you go. It's about, regardless of whatever the person's dressed like or They may not know certain things specifically. They may not know the experience, right, that you are going through, but they have similar values that the two of you can build upon and build an entire yacht. Like you know how it is that they say relationship, right? Like a ship, an entire big, huge yacht, grand yacht, you know? And if a person doesn't have similar values to you, a lot of you Capricorns will be able to see it around this time, especially when, you know, you're getting your feet wet, you're getting to know people, you're talking, you're trying to find out what they've got going on. But the people that you're talking to now don't necessarily give you any kind of indication as of right now. I want to put 3 underlines to that, as of right now, because they seem to be better in just appearances alone. But the Queen of Swords and the Moon represents, don't do anything too drastic with them in a sense of like go home with them or anything like that. It's too quickly, because the Queen of Swords is about skepticism. It's not even necessarily about skepticism per se. Skepticism is something that the Queen of Swords deals with if taken too far. The Queen of Swords naturally, just moderately on a more responsible tip, is really more so about being, you Capricorns, being a detective and having to know if a person cares about you with time, right? Hanging out with them, seeing what, you know, if the two of you have similar values, what is their connection like with their family members? Are they in good health? You know, what is their spiritual basis like? Do they believe in anything? Are they in any kind of religion, you know, that you can see eye to eye with, that maybe you're in, right? You know me, I don't necessarily get on the whole religious thing. That's a whole other kettle of fish when it comes to religion and me. But the point that I'm trying to make here is some form of things that you have in common for the two of you, so that the two of you can actually build upon your relationship with that. Part of the reason why relationships don't work, Capricorn, is because those two people don't have any values that are in common. Person may like skateboarding, the other person may like biking, right? Or mountain biking, but then they can't come up with how to make those two things work, even though both of those two things have wheels. You know, and they're both kind of considered extreme sports. Well, all sports are really considered extreme. I ain't gonna say all, but most sports are considered extreme, right? There's an element of adrenaline to them, right? But they can't see the forest for the trees, that both of them have wheels. Both of them are about going fast, taking risks, and doing things out of the ordinary, because most people on earth don't skateboard. Most people on earth don't bike, you know, in particularly mountain bike. Most people don't do that, you know. So that's my point. So don't do anything too drastic with them, because if you do, what'll happen is it'll set it up, because now you'll be in a situation where if you do anything with them too fast, they're going to be like, you didn't even take the time to get to know me. That's another thing, that how a lot of people end up getting played too, Capricorn. It's when you didn't take the time to get to know the person and you give it away to somebody, regardless on whatever side you're on, whether you give away money or whether you give away your body or attention or whatever it is. When you don't take the time to get to know the person, that is a recipe for disaster. That is almost like a surefire recipe for disaster, when a person doesn't take the time to say, hold on, slow down. Let's actually get to know each other. Because the person would feel insulted, right? You didn't even care enough to even ask them questions. And then you have the Ace of Wands and the Four of Wands represent here. You Capricorns are building something with somebody. So that has to happen on a decent time. And I'm not necessarily saying put a time frame to the hanky-panky. I'm not even talking about that one. I say, because that's where it is that most people's mind go to whenever it is that you say a time, right? Everybody's so scared they don't want to give up. One side doesn't want to give up their bodies too soon because I can get played. Then the other side is like, yeah, but you want me to give up my fuel for life, which is money. Money is the fuel for life. Why? Because if you're living in a modern day society, money gets you what it is that you want. People exchange money for goods and services. So you expect me to give up my cash, but at the same time, you want to play the game like you're not interested in putting money on the wood, putting money on the table. You're not interested in any of that. So, but then at the same time, you just keep telling me what it is that you're not going to do. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, you want to build something strong, a relationship that's sturdy here, right? Strong, rock solid like this table. You know what I mean? And how it is that you go about doing that is you Capricorns have to make sure to actually get to know the person, right? This is how a lot of people end up getting played, is when they don't, like I said, that's a big contributing factor to it too, Capricorn. And I'm putting a lot of game on y'all right now. Is when people don't take the time to actually get to know the other person. They don't actually do the sniff test. They don't really get a chance to actually see if the person is really 100 with them. They don't spend any time with them. When you do that, that is a surefire way on getting played, because that's not the way to win. But I can get deeper into it, but I ain't gonna give y'all all this game right now. So let's clarify the moon. You have the Four of Pentacles, then you have the Wheel of Fortune, then you have the Moon, and last but not least, you have the Lovers. Oh, and one more card, the Page of Cups, right? Because like it is, Wheel of Fortune, Cancer Crabs, like it is I said before, right? The Four of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune to clarify the Moon is about, because you have so many people running game now, and they have lost their souls in the process, literally. So the thing for you Capricorns is you meeting a lot of people that look beautiful, handsome, pretty, whatever. They appear to be on point. But trust me when it is that I tell you, because I've met some of them personally myself, a lot of people who may have money or may be the better choice have the same hood mentality. So you Capricorns need to understand it's the mentality that you're trying to stay away from. You're trying to get away from the ghetto, fabulous hood mentality, no matter who is doing it. The dysfunction. Some people come from two parent homes, a mother and a father in their life, and they're still dysfunctional. So you Capricorns have to really watch out for that. Then you have the Lovers and the Page of Cups. Ask them what it is that they're looking for. Is a relationship what it is that they're looking for? And if they say no, or if they try to go about it in a roundabout way, then that's a whole dub. You got to dub them at that point, because if they're not looking for a relationship, and if they cannot articulate that, say it, what are they there for? You understand? That's a clear indication that they're only there for your body, which is what you're trying to avoid in the first place. So I'm done giving game to y'all in this episode right now, all right? Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video.